going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Now, today, we've got the 5th test preview by TGC. Now, you guys know that I normally do my own test previews. I might still do it. I think the test match starts in like a day or two, so I might still do my own preview where I go through the pitch report, the weather report, and all that. But they've uploaded their preview pretty early. They normally upload it like the same day the test starts or the day before. So hey, they've caught me off guard here. So I thought I might as well, you know, kind of add my preview into theirs a little bit. But hey, if you guys are new, subscribe. Let's check it out.
Back to the Grey Cricketer, brought to you by Acco, India's leading
Ashwin's drinking partner. Yep, can't blame him. He'd be drinking a lot.
digital insurance company. My name is Ian Higgins. Sam Perry sits across from me. Has a game ever felt more on the back of another game than this game?
Mate, it probably has, to be honest.
Predicts Ronaldo will take 3 for. Wow. I've got Jarvo taking a 6 for, so interesting.
But my issue is I don't remember anything.
You've got internet brain.
Exactly. So no.
All right.
No.
Well, the 5th test happens on Friday. It's happening on Friday. They're not going to play it. It's just happening.
So the test is starting today. Wait, hold the fucking phone. Hold the phone. The test match starts tonight. Oh, wow. Never mind. This is the only preview you'll be getting. Oh, shit. The test match starts tonight, lady. I'm looking forward to it.
And the real question is, Pez, can India rinse England?
Yeah, they'll be rinsing them.
For a 3-1 series win or a respectable 2-1 draw. 2-1 win. 2-1 draw? What the fuck does that mean?
They say you should always look at, that history is the determinant.
That's
of
what they say.
comes next. 2 years ago, Australia was in this precise position in the Ashes.
Yeah. Yep.
They'd won. They were up 2-1. There was a sense of achievement at retaining the urn. They were going to lift the urn. Now, they don't really have this for India, England. I don't know. The fucking Patowdy Trophy, or that might be the
No,
one
they have
in
two
India.
different trophy names for two
trophies.
different series.
Whatever.
India already have one trophy for the India series. No, whatever this one is.
It'll soon be the Dada Trophy, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But,
it's actually Jack Leach's glasses.
I got a feeling India's not going to fall into the same trap as Australia. But, beware the Australian folly, India. Australia thought it was done at 2-1. Mm-hmm. They were drunk for the 5th test.
Literally.
They were. It still haunts them. There's gloss on a series victory. You don't want the gloss to come off. You don't want the Zoe Goss to come off.
Gloss Butler.
Exactly.
Gloss Butler.
Zoe Gloss. What a reference.
So I think that's what...
That's poor.
That's the question for India. Can they go in for the kill?
Yeah.
Can they kill? And I feel like India are killers at the moment.
Let's go through the England team first, Pez.
Yep.
Let's go through the batters, and then the bowlers is more interesting. But Joe Root has confirmed a couple of things, the first of which is that Joss Buttler will wicket keep and be vice-captain of this team, Pez. Now, I'm old enough to remember when Joss Buttler played his last test match.
Yes, you are.
Which was about a week and a half ago. So it's nice to see him back after the birth of his second kid, I think. He's straight back in the team, no questions asked. And now the only question remains in terms of the batters, Pope or young Johnny Bairstow, YJB. That's the
100% Pope. I would be taking Pope over Bairstow every day of the week. That fucking stupid rain.
question for number 5. A showdown, if you will, of the fair-skinned redheads.
Get in the nets.
Who have you got there?
Oh, Pope is a ranger as well.
Well, I don't think you can drop Ollie Pope after
can't.
hitting 81 upon coming back. I think Bairstow's made some good scores and we like watching him and we've built up a cult around him, but it's really been 30s and ducks. And if Butler's going to keep and it's just a showdown between Pope and Bairstow, then I think it goes to Pope. I mean, the alternative is that I see that Jack Leach is in the squad and perhaps he just plays as the first spinner and Moeen drops out and they keep Bairstow and Pope. But I saw that Root also said that Moeen's our first spinner.
He's the first spinner.
But, I don't know if he's playing games with that sort of shit.
He's taken 6 wickets at 50 in this series, so he's the first spinner.
Yeah, why would you bring Jack Leach back into the side if you weren't going to play him?
Yeah. So I think this is part of England's problem, of which they have many. But the Bairstow Pope thing is like, okay, Pope's come in for one game and he scored runs, and is like, does he therefore just immediately replace the guy they picked for the series just through one result? I don't know if it's as obvious as that. I mean, Bairstow has also got a 50 in this series, sure, with more attempts than Pope. Pope was the incumbent, then he was injured, so that's how Bairstow got in the first place. So maybe it's that. Maybe Bairstow hasn't done enough to retain his place over Ollie Pope, who they obviously like and we like to look at. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is there.
Who would you pick?
Bairstow. Bairstow.
So you bring Ollie Pope back in, scores 81, and then just pack him. Johnny,
You would be so unlucky. I would be asking for citizenship to another country after that.
we want Johnny.
I suppose it's not as black and white. It's confusing in the sense that they're still trying to find these batters that I don't think exist, and so I guess I don't know. It's very much of a muchness in this game. If we can move to the bowlers, though, Pez, as you rightfully said, Moeen Ali has been confirmed as a frontline spinner, but Leach is in the squad. So the other bowlers, Anderson, Robinson, and Wokes, they all bowled 30 overs on Sunday. Two of those guys have played a lot of tests in a row, and Wokes was the first time he played cricket since the mid-90s. So those are your options. Will Anderson play? That's the first question.
So Andy Bull wrote in The Guardian that Anderson and Robinson have bowled 330 overs this series.
Oh,
the other 7 English bowlers have bowled 354 overs together. So they have shouldered the load.
Yeah.
I feel like England are really good at playing breezy cricket when the other team has the foot off the gas. Maybe I'm just referring back to Australia there. I could conceivably see England, though it's hard to see because the last thing was bad from them, but I could see them still snatching 2-2. And
Same.
Like, they might pick these two guys. I mean, these two guys, depends how they feel, but they get a big rest after this.
Yeah.
Really long rest.
Yeah.
It's Jimmy Anderson's home ground. He literally has a stand named after him.
Yeah.
I know that Joe Root had said, like, you don't want to pick guys if they're an injury risk, so that's all the sports scientists will know these things. But to me, it sort of feels like they've come this far. And
Is Mahmood still in the squad? Just pick him, England. What do England have to lose? Pick Mahmood. Get him in.
Of all of the instability in the England team, at least they've created some stability post Stuart Broad in the Anderson-Robinson axis.
Yeah.
It's the last thing India will probably want to face. It depends how they feel. I don't think England are the sort of team that, like, I know that they're all focused on the Ashes and all that kind of thing, but I don't think that means this 5th test is an exhibition. Like, they'll know that there's a chance to make it 2-2 and take a little bit of momentum.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they still picked both of those guys, unless there's an injury risk I don't know about. They pick Chris Wokes and, Overton, I think, will be out with his elbow.
Yeah.
So it might be Jack Leach who comes in and then Moeen Ali 7, and there you go.
It's interesting. Because Anderson, this might be his last game he bowls from the James Anderson end, because next year the fixtures have been announced. They've got 3 tests against South Africa, 3 tests against New Zealand. Should be a good summer, actually. But none of those games are at Old Trafford.
Right.
Really?
So this might be because Anderson's going to play another 2 years after this. I mean, yeah, sure, maybe he might, but it seems unlikely. So this might be his last game. So I've got him down as a lock. He's playing this game.
Well, everyone knows that, you must have the last chance to bowl in front of the end where there's a stand named after you.
It's a famous old trope.
Yeah, exactly. What are you doing with the bowlers there?
I've got Moeen, Wokes, Leach, Wood, Anderson.
Wood, yeah. Okay, so no Robinson.
No, I thought
Yeah.
it looked a bit tired. A bit tired to me.
Fair enough. And, that's not far, like, for me, that's not far off the best bowlers they've got in the circumstances.
It is weird, though, if Leach does come in, because it's weird. Why would you bring him into the squad if you're not going to play him? I know he's been a
Get back around the boys
Just
again.
get around.
He's a great lunch guest.
He's
I've seen him eat lunch with them. Maybe
Yeah.
he's just unbelievable stories. You wouldn't pick it.
unbelievable. Friend of the show.
Friend of the show. He's got a 6-pack too.
What?
Yeah, so
How do you know that? That's
Wood, Anderson, Wokes. That's probably just about good enough. And then a couple of spinners. But it's weird the messaging, though, with Root saying, like, no, Moeen's our number 1 spinner. But you've got a spinner that's his number 1 job. It's odd.
Well, if he says just saying that he's their number 1 spinner doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be picked either. But
It literally means nothing.
no.
nothing means
Literally.
we live in a post-truth world too.
You know
Sounds
what's
like
funny?
Moeen's out.
This game doesn't even mean anything.
Well,
nothing.
what is life, man?
I just want to highlight as well, I was talking to you, Pez, about this, but Will McPherson of the Evening Standard has been doing lots of good work this week about reporting fixtures, England squads, etc., because teams have now, they're announcing their World Cup T20 squads. India's done that yesterday. He was saying that Chris Silverwood hasn't even spoken to Stokes about the World Cup. I now understand that Ben Stokes is not going to the World Cup, and Will was sort of very much presenting the idea that Stokes won't play cricket again this year. So from an Australian standpoint, that would mean that both Archer and Ben Stokes are out of the Ashes, and it's really hard to think about what's going to be good about this summer, given that there's also not going to be an Afghanistan Test match either. So let's hope the Big Bash is good this year, eh? The Indian team...
For real. Like, I was thinking of making a video talking about the Afghanistan and Aussie Test match being cancelled, but I thought it's a bit too political for me. Women's cricket is just as important as men's cricket, so look, that's pretty much all you can say. Yeah, as much as you guys know that I dislike Ben Stokes with a heavy passion, I still would like to see him play, and I still would love to see Archer play. He's one of my favourite bowlers in the world, so yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah, let's fucking hope the Big Bash is fun.
Team Lopez. Now, the Indian team will be without the head coach, the bowling coach, and the fielding coach in the fifth test, as they've all got to quarantine following COVID protocols, etc. So there's that.
Yeah.
But the batters. Let's start with the batters. Does Rahane play? You playing Rahane?
Actually, no.
Same. Sky doesn't play? No Agarwal?
Well, I woke up last night at about 1 a.m. and my 1-year-old was crying, so then I had to go to the toilet as well. And, took my phone.
That's a whole dance, isn't it?
I wasn't.
Yeah, I don't have kids, so I don't know what they're talking about.
All there, and I saw the India squad was announced, and I saw all these names. I saw Surya Kumar Yadav. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, Ashwin's in, yeah, awesome. Pandya, what?
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
and
then I was like, oh, well, they're just experimenting. Yeah, it's fine. Obviously, that was their T20. A lot of people are like, why wasn't Darwin here? It's like, well, I wasn't there in the first place. But that was their T20 side. Yeah, I would pick relatively the same side. I'd maybe give, Siraj might need a rest.
Yeah,
one or two of those guys.
You know what? I'm all for experimenting. Rahane, I love you, buddy, but the door's that way. I want to see Surya Kumar Yadav make his debut. I want to see Agarwal play. Just make a change. Give us something extra to talk about. We've been talking about the same stuff for 4 test matches in a row. Give us something. Give us a Sky debut, please.
Need a rest. Yep. But I'd pick the same side, essentially.
All right, Rahane, doors that way.
Rohit, KL Rahul, Pujara, Virat, Rahane, Punt, Jadeja 7. I got Ashwin at 8.
Yep. Yeah.
Depends if he's behaved himself this week. I got Shami 9, Yadav 10, Boomer 11. I mean, you can't. Yeah, Boomer's obviously played every game, so he's bowled as much as the rest of them in this series. But on the high of what happened last week, you can't take Boomer out.
No,
he'll play. Yadav, I think he was letting wicket take on that game for India. He took 3 from the second innings, definitely. He might have taken 4 in the first innings. So he had a good game. I think he plays and he'd be fresh. And Shami was rested. So you got 3 seamers, and then you got 2 spinners in Jadeja and Ashwin. I mean, it seems like it's going to spin. That's the male. That's the male.
Seems like it's going to spin.
It's so nice.
You like that?
See, that's why I have no idea, because they don't release a picture of the actual deck until like an hour before, which is so annoying, because I'm up here on Google Images searching fucking Old Trafford pitch from 1922.
That means that Tupac is once again dead. You have to put down the hologram.
For you. I mean, he has. How could you not pick him?
Yeah, I know.
He was literally in the top 2 most influential players.
What's your team then?
Well, batters, no change. I think Ashwin will be left out again. Yeah. I think something's going on with Ashwin. Yep. And I think that Kohli...
do you? Let's talk about that.
Well, I do.
So behind closed doors?
Well, I mean, Kohli's left out a guy that has taken 400 test wickets.
Yeah.
Insane.
I actually think that most of it is probably horses for courses stuff. England also haven't really lent on spinners either.
He's the wrong horse.
Yeah, he's the wrong horse for the wrong course.
Yep.
And I think that he's appreciated the template. He likes it. I think Takua will play. I think maybe he'll rest Siraj and bring in Shami, and the rest will remain the same. So one change. That's when you win a game, the side's on a high.
Yeah.
I don't really think anything else has happened.
I think that, I don't think Rahane will get dropped because, Pujara's obviously done enough in the last game as well. Probably last 2 games, to be fair to him. He's got 50s in both games, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
Rahane, sure, he's the weakest link there. I suppose there's a question, will Jadeja bat 5 again? He batted 5 in both innings. It didn't seem like it was actually a lunchtime watchman, as we suggested.
I liked it.
4th test match, so that's an interesting one. Maybe they're trying to hide Rahane at 6. Yeah. I think he deserves another go.
He's the vice captain of the team. By the same token, there's such a halo around India after the this particular win that if you saw the team list in Sky was in instead of Rahane, you'd probably go, oh, this is interesting. Oh, that's very progressive. They don't really. There's no room for sentiment. They're going to keep moving the team forward even though they're winning.
Ruthless.
You know what I mean?
But that's what I want to see. Like, I feel like Rahane, how many goes can you give one player? Vice captain of the team, one of the nicest blokes, we all know this, can be one of the great batsmen, can be a top 10 batsman in the goddamn world, can be the best middle order batsman in the world. I mean, he's been a top 5 ranked test batsman for ages in his career. Like, well, not for ages, but he has before. But you give a bloke 4 test matches, can't even get past it. Like, I don't think he scored more than 30 in one test match. Or 50. I mean, Surakami Yadav, get him in.
They could do that, you know, and you'd go, oh, okay, yeah, I see that thinking, but I think they'll want to finish off the job.
True.
I think they'll rotate the quicks. I don't think Ashwin will play, and I think that, you know, there's a bit of rain around at Old Trafford. It's green on day one.
Seamer.
It's meant to be dry, but they said that about the Oval as well, and it was dry, and Kohli was pretty happy with having 4 quicks, so I think he'll keep it relatively similar.
Yeah, I think there's probably a few factors there. I think that what happened in the New Zealand Test match, the World Test Championship final, where they picked a team and they went for the wrong template, that obviously really stung them. They realised they got that wrong, and they're unlikely that they'll go back to that, especially in England. They might play 4 spinners next time they play in India, but
I know.
And then, with Rahane, it's interesting. Like, I wonder if he's been sort of saved a little bit through circumstance with KL Rahul doing so well.
Totally.
Because he can bat. He scored 100 in the county game, batting 5, I think it was. Down the order. He can bat down the order. Agarwal's there. I mean, Sky, for instance. I mean, I don't think he can open, but but also the team's winning games, and there's no desperate need to change things whilst the team's winning. So. True. He's just about got enough credits in the bank. Yeah. All right, Pez, third thing, predictions that will be wrong. Let's do some predictions that will be wrong. My prediction is that nothing will matter because Ronaldo's playing on Saturday afternoon.
Exactly.
Literally across the road.
You'll hear Old Trafford bouncing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be 1-1. Yeah, cloudy. Bit and a bit green.
Yep.
And then dry for a couple of days and heaps of rain.
So you're saying it's supposed to rain?
Yeah, it's going to rain day 1,
nice.
day 5. It's meant to be quite messy. It's meant to be a lot of breaks.
Right. Okay. Messi's not playing.
He is for PSG, but
oil money.
Toss is important. You know, I mean, look, everything is always polarised and binary, and England were only one good day of cricket away from them possibly taking a series lead. You know, Anderson from the Anderson end. A lot will depend on the toss, I think. I do think
completely agree.
You know, I don't think it's a case of like, India have broken the back of England. I mean, they're just guys who play really good cricket. But yeah, if India can get a foothold in the game, then they really will be able to exploit it.
It's been such a great series, and in many ways, it's sad that it's coming to an end. There's only one more game, but it has been a great series, and in heaps of ways. Okay, India they probably would have won the first game, so it could be 3-1, but England could have won at Lords, and they could have won this game as well. So England could actually be leading. It's just like you would suggest that actually it's more likely that it's going to be 2-2. So therefore, that will be wrong now, and somehow it's actually going to end up 4-1. So. Yeah, I mean, it's just as likely that England bounce back, they win the toss and they bowl, and India are out for like 110 because Anderson's just taken 7 from the James Anderson end. That's all possible.
That's what they do. You know, like I mean,
especially if it's
we
quite
have
green.
long memories of England, winning dead rubbers against Australia. They've done it.
Did you? Please tell me you guys heard that. That was a cockatoo.
Many times.
Yeah.
And
is this a dead rubber?
No, it's not. And so, but. In 5 test series, there have been many times when Australia's been ahead and they just gift them the game
for sure.
because they're drunk. Yeah. I know India's not like that, and so that'll be interesting to see. But England are a sort of team where I just feel like their whole nation's approach to cricket it's actually quite endearing in a way where like each game is an event in and of itself, and that'll be the same at Old Trafford. Jimmy Anderson will be there, like they'll be up for it. Joe Root's there's all sorts of records for Joe Root. He's got the hot hand as well. So, like, India will have to be on their game massively. If they think it's going to be a walkover, it won't be. England don't sort of play like that. They'll make it its own event. So, I think it still could be a really good game. And if it is just a little bit more open because India feel like they've broken the back, there could be some really interesting things that happen.
So, therefore, it will rain for 5 days non-stop.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this. All right, hashtag RCDC brought to you by ACCO. This comes in via Patreon, Pez, from the username One Little Indian, who says, which is the best collapsing team in world cricket right now? Which is the best collapsing team in world cricket?
I want to answer this myself. Gee. I mean, you look at a team like Australia that can just collapse within fucking seconds. Shit. I mean, you get to that middle order of, after Smith, it can fall away quite quickly. Best collapsing. I mean, you look at England, what they've done in this series, they've collapsed countless times. I mean, a team like Pakistan can collapse quickly.
Right now, England, India, Pakistan, West Indies, or the Australians.
Well,
We've all got different skills. I like that.
I think there's countries missed out in terms of collapse. Afghanistan.
Shit!
I mean, according to the ICC overnight.
They don't even play anymore.
Well, if you
That's
don't have,
quite the
if
falling
If
apart.
you're not prepared to put a women's team out there,
Yeah.
then
See you later.
you are going to collapse.
Yeah.
So, but they actually have quite a strong middle order.
Well, the
otherwise.
ICC, though, that was actually the same like 4 years ago when the ICC granted Afghanistan test status. The women couldn't play then either, so it's a bit going on there.
Crazy.
What do you think?
There was a period of time there between like in the mid tens of the 2000s. What year is that? What do you call that? Like 2010 to 2019. What decade's that?
Tens?
Tens.
The tens.
The tens.
Yeah,
Sounds
Different
weird.
to the Thames, which is different.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a period there where we were just sick for a collapse.
Oh,
Stuart
yeah.
Broad 8 for 15, South
it.
Africa all out 7, or
Yeah.
we were 38 or some shit.
Real vibes team.
Real vibe scenes.
Yeah.
I was sick for that then, changing shit left, right, centre. So I was very appreciative of an Australian collapse where just couldn't even hit the ball, like not even just nicking off. Although there was a bit of that, just fucking stumps everywhere, splayed pegs, etc.
We've still got a bit of it in us as well.
Oh, we've got Linus. Don't worry about
Yeah.
that. I'm not really. I mean, I was going to say I haven't seen an Indian collapse. They've been bowled out twice for 38 and 70.
Yeah, I mean, India's good.
36
For,
and
India's
38.
good for a dramatic collapse.
Yeah, out of nowhere.
But then they're still good. So haven't seen a New Zealand collapse for a long time.
No.
Yeah, we don't see them much.
I mean, I suppose they get bowled out for 60 in Bangladesh.
Yeah, well, I was about to say, I mean, you look at their thirds team over in Bangladesh right now in T20 cricket. But then again, no one really gives a fuck about T20. I mean, yeah, we love T20 cricket, but Test cricket's where the real collapses are at. They're not a team that collapses ever in Test cricket. Like, I don't think they've collapsed that often. Like, even they'll still put up a respectable 150 to 200, even if it's a collapse.
So
That's an average score over there, isn't it? That's actually a competitive total.
It's
It's actually quite a good score. It's a good knock.
Pakistan, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do England really fall apart? Really,
It's funny, but
They have
England-
this series.
Oh, well, they lost
in
4
India.
for 6.
Yeah. Well, in India, they also couldn't hit it.
Yeah, but
Axar
it
Patel.
feels like collapses don't count in India. Oh, really collapse? Like, yeah, well, once it's fruit picking season,
Yeah.
The pitch was moving.
kick them over.
That's just after monsoon season.
That's right.
Fruit picking season.
Once you hear the cries from the fielders around you and it's
yeah.
fruit picking season,
Punt stops laughing behind
exactly.
the back. Yeah.
That doesn't
you're in.
matter.
Doesn't-
It's not really
Doesn't have an
collapse.
appeal. Joker. All right. Hey, we're doing a live stream for session 1, day 1, 5th test. That's Friday evening our time, Friday, whatever time it is you are watching that around the world, right here on YouTube. We'll be doing that again. Looking forward to that. So join us right here on the YouTubes. Looking forward to this one. See you tomorrow.
Hey, I mean, they still haven't gotten in touch with me to actually join the boys, which, it's a little bit unfortunate. I'm still waiting for that invite or even a follow back. But hey, that's okay. You know what? That's not all that matters. They probably neglect me, and they probably see that I react to their videos and they go, not this fuckwit again. Not this bloke again, seriously. Is he just going to leave us alone yet? But hey, no, I'm not. So hey, that is going to cap it off, guys. The 5th test preview. The test match starts tonight. Looking very much forward to it. Again, fingers crossed for no rain. If there's rain, I could be sent into a deep, deep depression. Fingers crossed for no rain. Excited to actually see what the pitch looks like. That's something I never thought I'd say. But if it's quite green, then you want to hope you're obviously bowling first. You get a good look at what the pitch is. Maybe that's when they make the call. If Ashwin will play, I hope Lord Thakua will play. I'd love to see Umesh Yadav keep his spot. I'd love to see an Agarwal or a Surakami Yadav play. But then again, you don't want to make too many changes to a team that's up 2-1 in a series and could win 3-1. So, hey, that's going to cap it off, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What changes will be made. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.